Alright guys, well the first fly I'm going to show you today is called a woolly bugger. Camera won't stay in focus that well, so just bear with me and hopefully it'll turn out clear. The first thing we're going to do is take our thread, and you want to start wrapping it right about the eye of the hook. The eye of the hook is right here where you tie your fishing line on, and you're just going to wrap it back all the way to pretty much the bend of the hook, right about there. And then being careful not to cut the thread you have wrapped. Take off that extra bit there. Then you're going to take your material for the tail. They get these feathers off of birds, different birds like turkeys or whatever, and they dye them all different colors. I've got some olive green, and they make all sorts of wacky colors like that. You can find them in pink, purple, any color you can think of. What I like to do for my flies, the ends are kind of stringy, so I just kind of tear them off a little bit. It gives it more of a jagged edge. Which, it looks more natural in the water to the fish. So you're going to cut about an inch or so off. And then just right about where your thread is on the hook, you want to rest it on top. Do a few loose wraps, just about 2 or 3, and then pull down. That'll get it nice and secure on the hook. Alright. Next we are going to take the body wrap. There's all different kinds of names for this. Some people call it yarn, and there's just a lot of different terms people have for it. So you're going to want to cut a section of this off, and then same place you have the tail tied on, a couple loose wraps, go back to your tight wraps. There's one more thing we're going to tie on right here. These are hackle feathers off a rooster. Same thing with the tail material. You can get these dyed in just about any color. A lot of people will tie them in like this. They'll put the thick end first and then work their way up. I personally prefer to tie in the smaller end in first. That way when you wrap it up towards the eye of the hook, it has gives it a flare effect. So just tie that in and then bring it all the way back up to the eye. You want to leave about 1/4 of a centimeter or so between your thread and the eye of the hook. That way it doesn't block the hole there where you want to tie your line through. So now we're going to take the body wrap and just start working your way up toward the eye of the hook there. I found that when I was researching some stuff about this, people have they actually have vices. The vice is this part right here you attach the hook on, that have they get really fancy. There's a spin mode, so you can actually just hit a little button on the vice and it'll spin the hook automatically and wrap it for you. But they're about $4,000, and I don't need to be getting that fancy, so this works good enough. Just tie that off at the front, cut off your excess, a couple more wraps just to make sure it's in there right. Same thing with your feather, just wrapping it around, working your way up. Alright. And get that in nice secure. Just pushing some of you're going to want to push the feathers back a little bit. They're going to want to stick out toward the front. Alright. Now you could just leave it as is. The fish don't really care, but a lot of times most people you'll find that are tying flies, they just kind of make it they just want to make it look good, I guess. Looks better to people. Like I said, the fish really don't care. And then to finish off, you want to do a knot called a half hitch. You take the thread in your fingers and then cross it over, make a little loop. You put the loop over the eye of the hook and then pull down. And I'll do usually 3 or 4 of those. Pull it down nice and tight. And then there you go. This one I just rushed through for a little demonstration. That's pretty much what you're doing for a woolly bugger there. I'll put in some, I'm going to make a little slideshow. I'll put in some better pictures of some better flies that I've done. But yeah, that's just the basic idea of a woolly bugger there.